Hey guys, it's BroUwack, and lately I've been making a few videos talking about changes for certain type of heroes. Specifically, I made a video talking about Roadhog and just a few changes that he kind of needs to make him a little bit more viable, but also I made a video talking about Widowmaker and possibly giving her an ultimate buff, and it seems like you guys really love those videos, and I love making those because, well, I love talking about just heroes that need to be better, right? I always want to make heroes and then just the game better, and I never like to point at a hero saying, alright, we need to make that hero worse. No, I don't. Like, that really doesn't make sense in my head. However, there are certain heroes that I don't want to say are OP, right? There's going to be a lot of people that say, oh, this hero's OP because he has this ability, or this hero's OP because they have that ultimate. But in my eyes, the way that I see it is that heroes aren't OP, they're just more viable in a lot more situations than other heroes. Take like Torbjorn, for example. He's not really viable in as many situations as, say, like a Soldier 76. You know, you can use a Soldier on attack, on defense, on a 2CP map, whatever the case may be, where Torbjorn, he can really excel at something like Defense Hollywood, but something like Control Oasis, something like that, he's not all that viable. That was just a quick example. Obviously, there's going to be some people that say, no, I always use Torbjorn. Well, you're one of the special few, okay? But getting back on topic that's on hand today, I wanted to talk about Mercy, because Mercy is a very, very controversial topic, because I feel like people really do love her, but more or less, especially in this season, really do hate her. And even in season 4, she was taking over the healer meta, and she was just one of the best healers because, well, you didn't need another healer. You can really run solo heal with Mercy and do a great job in the game, and there's so much about her that people are wanting to really nerf, right? They're not asking for a buff. They're not asking for her little pea shooter for a buff. They're not asking for her to give heals faster. No, really, they're asking her just to be toned down in many certain ways, in any type of aspect. But today, I wanted to talk about nerfing her ultimates, because this is the biggest thing that just makes a lot of people angry when it comes to Mercy. And I know there's some other aspects like one-trick pony Mercies, or people that are climbing through the ladders with Mercy, but I feel like just toning down her ultimates can really make her less of a target towards the salty people in Overwatch. Now, with that being said, you don't know how long I thought about this topic and just like wanting to bring it out to the public, because, well, a lot of people are gonna get angry at me for even suggesting something like this, like, oh, why would you want to nerf Mercy? She's one of my favorite heroes. And I totally get it, because I have the Mercy gold gun. I really love Mercy, but there comes to a point where you just use a hero and it really is OP, or maybe it's just really cheap. And the way that I see the Mercy res is that it's okay, so a while back ago, I made a video talking about the best ultimates in the game, and the #1 ultimate in that video I said was Zarya's ultimate, because it can set up so many other ultimates. But want to know what #2 was? It was Mercy's Resurrection. Want to know why? Because it can change the tide of a game, just like Zarya's ultimate, but also it can be charged super quick. So you can kind of guess where I'm going with this, but really what I'm wanting to change with Mercy's ultimate ability is just make the charge rate just a little bit slower. Not change anything else about her, not make her more weaker, not make her more stronger, literally just have the resurrection ability just charge at a slower rate. And the way that I see it is that, like I said before, it should be an ultimate ability. You shouldn't be able to get it literally every single fight. Now, obviously, that's an exaggeration, but comparing it to Zarya's ultimate with Mercy's ultimate, both game-changing ultimates, but you get Mercy's resurrection ability so much quicker than the Zarya ultimate. But I wanted to actually show you how quickly you can get Mercy's resurrection ability, which I'm sure you guys already know about, but I went to a private match and I just had 2 Lucios just shoot into Roadhog. Now, obviously, this isn't like a real game situation, but it closely is, so you can see right here that I'm going to be able to charge my ultimate from roughly 25% to 26%, all the way to 66%. About 41% on just one single hero from just simply healing that hero. That's the biggest problem that I have, because you can just charge it at such a quick rate, and that was just from one hero. Okay, no one was really attacking a Roadhog. Want to know how many times you're in that situation? Pretty often. The gameplay you're watching, I'm always healing the Winston, or I'm always healing the tanks. I'm always constantly healing, because that's my only single job, and I'm able to have my res usually every single big fight that's coming my way. that's why I feel like Mercy deserves some sort of just charge nerf. Not anything to her here. I just want to stress that literally just the charge rate, I feel like it should be a little bit slower. And that can just bring up the argument, well, why don't you just focus the Mercy every single team fight that she has res? Well, that's the thing. One, she can build it really quickly, and yeah, I do focus the Mercy, but she shouldn't be the main priority target for the sole purpose that she has a resurrection ability that's gonna simply counter our skill of killing the heroes on the enemy team. If we get 3, 4, or 5 kills, and we do that every single time based on our skill, if she can just simply res that, I kind of find that as a cheap factor. I always kind of compare it to like when you're battling the Elite Four in Pokemon, you know, you're bringing the Dragonite or you're bringing whatever Pokemon they have, and then the Elite Four just use a full restore or a full heal, whatever the case may be, and you're left there with your Charizard, and it's like, oh, well, I'm about to die because you used a cheap tactic. Now, I'm trying to be very sensitive. I'm not trying to say that Mercy and her resurrection ability is a cheap tactic, but that's kind of how I see it, is that we have the skills to kill your whole entire team, but since you can simply press Q, press Y, press triangle, bring them back to life, and kill us, since we have low heals now, we're the Charizard and you're the Dragonite with a full restore because Mercy was able to build it so quick every single fight. So then I bring up the argument, did the enemy team get the point? Did the enemy team move the payload of, like, I don't know, 25 meters? Were they able to capture the first point based on skill, or because they got lucky and we didn't have a Mercy to also counter that, because we didn't have a Symmetra teleporter to get quickly onto the fight? It's one of those situations where it's like, okay, you did get brought back to life and you were able to kill us, but at what cost? From one single ultimate that's being able to just charge at a faster rate. And I keep saying that and I keep repeating that, but that's the main argument that I'm trying to bring to the table, is that you can just charge at a faster rate when compared to these other ultimates like Sound Barrier or Zenyatta's ultimate, where he just uses Tranquility. It takes a little bit to charge up. You can't just simply do one simple job. No, you have to heal, and you also have to put Discord and also shoot and kill the enemies. Whereas with Mercy, again, this is where I'm trying to be sensitive. I'm not trying to say that it takes zero skill to use Mercy, hence why I got the Mercy Gold Gun. It's one of my favorite heroes, but when you can just simply hold down right trigger, hold down right mouse click, and just heal a Roadhog, a Winston, a Zarya, a Genji, and change the pace of the game, that's my biggest problem that I have with that. But going back to the argument of focusing Mercy that has res, again, you can focus the Mercy, but Mercy players are going to adapt to that. They're going to see, okay, well, I'm getting focused inside I have res, I'm going to go hide. I'm going to tell my team, hey, go die on points. I'm going to res everybody and kill anybody that's kind of low on HP, like the Zenyatta, like the Soldier, possibly the Pharah, whatever is on the field. So then they go, they die, and since they're able to build res so quickly, they're able to res right there and then build it up again for the next fight, rinse and repeat. It's just a rinse and repeat. You're going to go kill them, you're going to die, I'm going to res, I'm going to build ult again so quickly and not be really sensible with it. You can be frugal with it, and I feel like with an ultimate, you really shouldn't just be throwing it out there and still changing the pace of the game and still changing how the game is going to flow. And if you still don't believe me, if you want to throw everything else out the window, you can just look at this sole single purpose of bringing a charge nerf towards Mercy, which again, I'm not trying to make Mercy a worse hero. I'm just trying to make Mercy a little bit more fair of a hero. That's why I made the video talking about Roadhog, because, well, there's not a lot of situations that would make Roadhog a fair hero to use, whereas compared to Mercy, there's so many situations that would make her a fair hero to use. So the last thing that just makes Mercy's ult just so much more powerful is that there's only 3 hard counters. So the first one, just simply use a Sombra hacker or use a Sombra EMP so that she literally cannot use her resurrection ability. And that's a pretty hard counter, and that's a great counter. You should always try to use Sombra to the best of her abilities. Now the second hard counter, which isn't really a hero selection, you just simply kill her. Well, if she's the first one dead, then, well, she's not going to be able to use her resurrection ability because, well, there's no dead heroes for her to revive. Okay, that's fine, but that goes back to the argument, well, I'm just simply gonna hide. I'm Mercy, I want my teammates to die first, I'm gonna let them die so I'm able to use my res. And the third hard counter, which isn't really even a counter, is don't kill the enemy. But that's the whole point of the game, that you're supposed to kill the enemy so that you can take the point. It's just, that's not really a counter, but it's still there. Like, okay, well, if we don't want to use res, let's not kill the diva. Let's not kill the Rein, the Soldier, the Reaper, whatever it could be. But that's not really a viable counter, and that's my biggest problem, is that it caused insecurity of wanting to kill the enemy. But really, that's the whole point of trying to move the payload, trying to get the first point. There's so many situations that Mercy can just change simply for just charging your ultimate quickly and being able to change the tide of the game. And you shouldn't really be insecure to wanting to go kill the enemy, because that is the whole point of the game. Now, I try to be sensitive, I try to be understanding for all the Mercy mains, and I don't want to make Mercy a worse hero. I just want to make her a fair hero, and that's just the whole theme of this video. If you give her a simple ult charge nerf where it's a little bit slower, it would fix so much situations. It will make plays a little bit more smarter and not really just throwing ultimates out there. So that's my biggest thing that I just want to stress in this video. But I do want to hear you guys' thoughts. So I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch videos to come, and bye.